Can someone please tell your girl why these dang pleated wide leg pants is so good? From the perfect flowy fit to endless styling option, these pants are a game changer. And I know you're wondering, girl, what you talking about? We're talking about Simplicity 9955. And these pants can elevate any look. So I'm gonna share with you guys how you can elevate the look, how these pants will work with any season, and best of all, they're easy to sew, and I'm gonna share that with you. So if that's some content you would like to see, please continue to watch. Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. It's your girl Rochelle from Rochelle.Handmade.Designs. In this video, I'm gonna be sharing with you guys, of course, a pattern review, behind the scenes, and a sew along for these pants. Now, if you are new to the channel, you guys already know what to do. Go get you a quick snack, some popcorn, a beverage of choice, of course, some tea, some water, kombucha, whatever you wanna drink. Just make sure you come back, okay? And chill with your girl on this video. Now, I'm gonna say you may want to jot down some notes because I'm going to be giving you guys some details of this pattern, okay? So let's go ahead and jump right on in it. In order to keep this video short, sweet, and to the point, let's go ahead and get right on into the pattern description. So first things first, pattern description. So I'm gonna give my own, like I normally do. First things first, we're talking about Simplicity 9955. So this is a pleated wide leg pattern that features shorts, your crop pants, and a long length view. So view A is your shorts, view B is your crop pants, and view C is the long full length pants. This pattern also features side seam pockets, belt loops or carriers, as well as a fly front zipper. And of course, pleats. So that is the pattern description for this pattern. And of course, these pants are wide leg. I did mention that. So that is the pattern description for this pattern. Let's talk about skill level. So for this pattern, the skill level is rated as average. Do I feel this pattern is average? Absolutely. I would not say this pattern is nowhere near beginners. You're dealing with pleats, you're dealing with fly front zippers, you're dealing with belt loops, you're dealing with a yoke, you're dealing with a lot of freaking different techniques in this pattern, and we'll talk more about that here shortly. All right, let's talk about fabric. So in terms of fabric that I use for this pattern, I use Poplin fabric, okay? And I think this Poplin fabric that I picked up is from Fashion Fabric Clubs online, but I picked this fabric up a while ago. I want to say like spring. It was either this spring in 2024 or last spring in 2023. Can't remember, but I picked it up a while ago. I either picked it up from Fashion Fabric Clubs online or JoAnn's. I can't remember which one, but I did pick it up from one or the other. All right, and I also shared this fabric in my sewing plans video, which I'll put up here so you're able to see it, as well as the 12-piece fall capsule wardrobe as well. We're almost there. I'm halfway there now, okay? I'm halfway there, and you will see more of the pieces coming up on the channel here shortly. Soon, I should say. All right, let's talk about pattern pieces. So for this pattern, you're going to need 9 pattern pieces. That's all the patterns in all the pattern pieces in the envelope. So pattern piece number 1, your front, pattern piece number 2, your back, pattern piece number 3, your pockets, pattern piece number 4, your yoke front and back, pattern piece number 5, your right fly, pattern piece number 6, your left fly, 7 is your carrier, 8 is your front waistband, and pattern piece number 9 is your back waistband. So you're gonna need all the pattern pieces in the pattern envelope. So speaking of pattern envelope, let's talk about sizing, pattern sizing. So for this envelope, well, I should say for this pattern, it comes in 2 pattern envelopes. So the first pattern envelope is size 8 to 16, and the second pattern envelope is 18 to 26. The size that I cut is a size 18. All right, so did I cut the right side? Yes, but we're gonna talk about more in details on likes and dislikes, all right? So the size that I cut is a size 18. Did I make any modifications? No. Actually, yes and no, but it's not like a huge modification. It was just basically I sized up at the hips like I always have to do. I had to size up 1 inch at the hips, and it fits perfect in the hips, but there are some other things that I want to tell you about, all right? So modifications, a slight modification, and that would just be sizing up the hips. Let's talk about, did it look like the photos or the drawing on the pattern envelope? I feel that it does look like the photos and the drawing on the pattern envelope. After I made these and tried it on, I looked at the pattern envelope and I'm getting the same thing that the lady in the photos on the pattern envelope is getting, okay? We're almost there. So before I tell you what that is, let's talk about, are the instructions easy to follow? Yes and no. So yes, they are easy to follow, but there's one area in the instructions where it can be, what's the word I want to use? It can be a little tricky if you don't understand how to do it. And that would be when you're attaching the yoke front and back, that portion can be tricky. So in the sew along, it will tell you how to do that portion, because that's the only part where I can see where you can get tripped up and it can look really funky and you don't understand. But other than that, the instructions are easy to follow. Let's talk about likes and dislikes. All right, so let me first put it out there. Let me start with the dislikes first, and then we're gonna talk about the likes. Dislike, so there's really not a dislike. However, there is one dislike. It's not a dislike for the pattern. It is a me, not a them, okay? So for me, I feel that this pattern, the crotch curve, was a little too tight, a lot too tight for my liking. So I feel that, yes, I am going to do it again, and I'm going to do it again in this color. So I'm going to purchase some more because I did see this color at JoAnn. So I'm going to say that I think I purchased this fabric from JoAnn instead of Fashion Fabric online. So I did see this color at JoAnn when I went for the pattern sale. I did not pick it up because I need to look at my receipt on how much did I pick up for these pants. And this pattern was not in the JoAnn's that I went to, so I had to look for the pattern. So because the fabric that I use is 53 inches wide, I'm going to use the 45 inch. I'm just gonna say 45 inches. So I'm gonna get about 2.5 yards of, well, no, I'm doing view C. So I'm gonna get about 3.5 yards of fabric, maybe 4, just to have that extra for this. Now, the thing that I did not like about this pattern is the crotch curve. It made it seem like the crotch curve needed to be dropped at least 1.5 inches, because I feel like that crotch was all the way up, you know what, like my butt, the front, everything. Even though the photos came out amazing and all that good stuff, it was a little uncomfortable to take these photos. Even though, you know, my husband took my photos this time and he did a wonderful job. However, it was just kind of like, I was more of the hurry up and take the photo, because it's just when something is not right, it could kind of show in your face. So even though in the photos it looks like, oh, you know, I'm having a great time, those pants were super tight in the crotch area. Now it fits like a glove in the hips. It fits like a glove in the waist. So there's nothing that I need to change outside of, you know, the size 18 fits me great. Just had to size up the hips, but that's just my standard thing that I have to do. But I have to adjust that crotch curve for my say, and I think I'm gonna add, instead of 1.5, I think I'm gonna add 2 inches to give myself some room right there in the crotch, because having that seam all the way up your crotch is not cool at all. Like, no, it's not. And then in the back, it just seemed like I had a wedgie, and I did not like that at all. So one thing I will say that for this pattern, and it looks the same way on the lady that's actually wearing it. I'm gonna put it up on the screen so you're able to see it closely. But it looks like the same thing for her, is that that crotch curve is up her crotch. Like, I don't like that for me. If you like that, that's fine, but I'm not, I can't do it. I can't do it at all. So I'm going to sew it again because these are super amazing. I love the fit. I love the flowiness of these pants. So yes, I will be making them again. So first time experiences. Did I have any first time experience? Yes and no. So the first time experience is doing the yoke front and back, I believe, that side area. I don't have any pants that feature that yoke piece, which is the yoke front and back. I don't have any pants that have that. So I thought it was nice to do. Now, one thing I will mention is if you do not want to do anything with that yoke front and back piece, which is pattern piece number 4, you can omit that. And how you can omit that, I did not show this in the sew along, but you can omit that by just basically making a square where like you have to do it before you cut out your fabric. So on your pattern piece, you would have to basically close out that square. And then when you go to cut it, you cut as if it's just a regular pant pattern versus that yoke piece, okay? But I like it with the yoke. I think it gives it a very nice detail to the pants. So yes, these pants are amazing. I love them, okay? Let's talk about, I talked about first time experience. Would I recommend this pattern to other? Absolutely. That's why I did a sew along. And this sew along is in full details, but I do want to mention that, you know, some of my, moving forward into 2025, some of my sew alongs will be kind of like just telling you how to do certain aspects instead of a full detail sew along. Reason being is because, like I mentioned before, I'm going back to the office and I'm not going to have time to do complete full sew alongs like I have been doing here lately, but they will be sew alongs, but just kind of like trimmed down a lot. Instead of a hour and 45 minutes or 2 hours sew along, they'll be trimmed down a lot and basically just focusing more on the things that you may need, okay? I know I get this all the time in my DMs about showing the sewing machine. We're just sewing in a straight line. So, I mean, I don't know how much of the sewing machine you need to see just to sew in a straight line. But if there's more details that I need to tell, I will get the sewing machine. But for the most part, you're just sewing in a straight line. All right. So that's why I do not share the sewing machine per se. But lately I have been sharing the sewing machine just for the sake of you guys seeing the sewing machine. However, I don't feel like the sewing machine is really needed just to sew in a straight line. That's just, you know, how I see it. But, you know, it's fine if you feel that I need to show the sewing machine, because that's not going to change anything of what I'm doing, because if a lot of these sew alongs I have done before, so you can always go back to a different sew along and see a lot of the technique that I have already shared with you. All right. So moving on past that. Okay. So I would recommend this pattern to other. Would I sew it again? Absolutely. I actually getting ready to go to JoAnn's tomorrow to pick up some things or whatnot. So really I have a couple of patterns that I need to pick up for someone else, not myself. I'm pretty caught up with patterns and everything. I just need a couple of patterns that's like older patterns, but I'm pretty sure I have to go to the other side of town in order to do that. So that's that. But my pattern rating for this pattern, I'm going to stamp this pattern a 4.5 out of 5. And the only reason why is simply because that crotch curve, it needs to be a little lower, because it looks like coochie cutters if you do not drop that crotch seam. Okay. But that's it for the pattern review. I hope you enjoyed. So let's go ahead and get on over to the sew along. And before we get over to the sew along, if you missed it, where my girl Shells and I, we were live on Beat the Clock, episode 3. I'm going to go ahead and put it up right here. Go and check it out because we had so much fun doing Beat the Clock. So if you missed it, you can go ahead to that live and see that live where I shared the pattern that I'm going to be sewing up. Well, that's it for this sit down pattern review. Let's go ahead and get over to the sew along. All right, so there you have it. That is the complete pattern review. I hope you enjoyed Simplicity 9955. View C is the view that I did. And if you make these pants, I'm just gonna show you what it looks like. If you make these pants, do not forget to tag me in your creations at Rochelle.Handmade.Designs. I would love to reshare as well. Well, that's it for this video. I hope you enjoyed. Until next time, keep sewing.